What's your biggest expense right now? What's your biggest tip for saving money? How much do you make per year at your job? Where did you get your desire to become a doctor? How do you invest your money? So I'm assuming you bought Bitcoin early?
2017, yeah.
Hey guys, so we're here in Beverly Hills, more specifically Rodeo Drive. And in today's video, I'm gonna be asking strangers what they do for a living, how much money they make, and a bunch of other questions about personal finances and entrepreneurship. Obviously, this is a very affluent area, a lot of really successful people. So I'm really excited to see what people have to say. Let's get started. So what's your name, age, and what do you do?
John, how dare you? And I'm a marketing executive.
How much do you make per year at your job?
I make about $300K.
Do you have any advice for people that want to get into marketing?
Start small and don't be afraid to start small. I was in the Army, and that's where I started, and I did PR in the Army, and from there I went into news, and I ended up doing marketing for Petco. You know, start small and work your way up. Showing up is 90%.
I agree with that. Do you have any tips about personal finance?
Yes, the best advice I ever got was from my first creative director who told me, young John has to take care of old John. And I never forgot that. If you start saving in your 20s, you're going to be so much better off. And I know it's hard because there's not a lot of money when you're in your 20s and you're trying to make rent, you're paying student loans. But just, $10 a week, it builds and it makes a big difference.
What is your biggest financial flex?
I have really expensive comic books.
Oh.
Yes.
Like what do you have?
I have the first Captain America and the Avengers and things like that. I'm a big original Marvel Universe guy.
What is your investing strategy right now?
Right now, if you're freaking out about the stock market, don't. Stay put, wait 5 years, it'll be back around and it'll be higher than ever. If you are super nervous, bonds. Bonds are super secure, they're safe, and I know it's so basic, but it's the truth. Read Susie Orman's book, The Young Person's Guide to Being Young, Fabulous, and Broke. It changed my life when I was in my 20s.
Do you have any advice for aspiring young entrepreneurs?
Yeah, go for it, man. The key word there is young. Do it now. Failure is great because you learn from it. If you're not failing, you're not trying. So don't be afraid of, and don't fall for imposter syndrome. People are going to find out I don't really know everything. If you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. Don't be afraid to surround yourself by people that are much more knowledgeable than you because you're only going to look better by who you surround yourself with.
What's the craziest thing you've ever done to make money?
Gosh, nothing too wacky. I guess joining the Army was pretty crazy because it's something not in my personality profile, and people were like, wait, you joined the Army? You're a big punk rocker, F authority kind of guy, and I did it, and it was probably the best thing I ever did. I wouldn't recommend it now. It was a different world back then, but yeah, that was pretty crazy, I guess.
Wow. Hey, thank you so much.
Sure thing.
My name is Alec, I'm 24, and I'm beginning my journey with real estate, but I also trade the stock market, and at the moment, I'm full-time at Louis Vuitton.
Can I ask how much do you make at LV?
Like 95.
Is that mostly commission or is it like?
Well, it's commission and hourly. Just if you focus on certain avenues, they pay a little bit better, like hard-sided pieces and exotic pieces.
Do you have any interesting stories while working at Louis Vuitton?
One of my really good clients actually works hand-in-hand with Elon. She runs her own aerospace company.
Do you have any advice for when it comes to personal finances and saving money?
I have a nice hefty portfolio in stocks, primarily gold and oil. I take a third of my paycheck and just put it into that. Whatever else is from there, it's like the other third should be for my bills.
What's your biggest financial flex?
I don't necessarily do too much for myself, but if I have the opportunity to give somebody a nice experience or pay for a dinner or get them something that I know that they probably would not get themselves, that to me is fulfilling.
What would you say to aspiring entrepreneurs?
When you're tired, keep going. When you want to stop, keep going. Pain and sadness is only like weakness leaving your body. I'm a wrestler, so I live by that. What we were always taught as well, that you need to do today what your opponent won't do, so tomorrow you can do what they can't. Just continue, because while you're youthful now, just grind, because when you're older, you won't have to.
What's your biggest expense right now?
Probably my car.
What kind of car do you have?
C8.
How do you like that?
It was really nice. I put down a deposit when they first got released in 2019, and then everything happened, and then I ended up taking delivery of it September of 2020.
So that must mean that you've driven it for free, or like you can sell it for more than you paid, probably, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
That's amazing. I'm also into like the car hacking stuff too. That's cool. So I want to take a short break from these interviews to tell you guys about the sponsor of this video, TradeStation. Even though this video isn't about investing, I think it's super important to know that almost all of you wealthy invest their money, whether it be in real estate, stocks, or especially right now, crypto. TradeStation is a high quality and hassle-free platform that allows you to buy, sell, and trade many types of stocks, ETFs, and several cryptocurrencies. And what I love is that they offer zero commission pricing for stocks, options, and futures. They offer a large variety of tools and resources that help you be a better investor. And if you do ever run into any problems, they have global live chats and 24/7 customer support for futures and crypto related issues. If you guys have been following me for a while, you know that I always recommend for people to start investing as early as they can because of compound interest, especially with the markets being at a discount right now. If you want to get started with investing, you guys can use the link in the description to sign up for TradeStation right now. Again, that sign up link will be down below in the description. And now back to the video.
I'm Kaylee, I am 24 and I'm a pastry chef.
Wow. How much money do you make from that?
On my own business and when I work for another company, probably roughly like 50K.
Awesome. Do you have any advice for anyone that wants to like get into the pastry business?
Follow your dreams. I have Asian parents, of course, and they always wanted me to become a doctor or a lawyer, but I always found my passion in like baking and making dinner and just doing what I love. And we actually had a COVID scare in 2020, and he told me, it's like, how about you just go to culinary school? Like, screw like becoming a doctor or a dentist. Like, don't do what your parents want you to do. Do it for yourself. Because I still have my dream of opening up my own place.
Where do you want to open up your shop?
Newport Beach, Little Isle.
What's your biggest personal finance tip?
There's always going to be a bill, but if you have the people you love, like, you don't need to think about it all the time. I always tell like my fiance, like, wherever we are, like, no matter if we're in debt or we have like crazy bills, like, you have me for the rest of your life. It's always gonna be us, and I love you to death, no matter how hard it is sometimes.
What's the best way for people to like invest their money?
Investing in yourself. So like taking yourself out for a walk, grabbing a cup of coffee. Like, you don't have to invest in like major appliances in your life. It's just something that makes you happy at that moment so you can keep pushing forward.
Hey, I'm Cray. I'm 27. I'm a resident surgeon at UCLA.
How much do you make as a resident?
It's about like 70K to start. It's not much.
Do you have any advice for anyone that wants to get into medicine?
It starts early, and I feel like you just really got to want it. It's one of the fields that you have to make a lot of sacrifices for, and it's not for everyone, but if you're really drawn to it, it's definitely worth the long haul.
Where did you get your desire to become a doctor?
I would say pretty early on. I got into the operating room, and there's few environments like it. You're just in the zone, scrubbed in, windowless room, a 2-foot by 2-foot box is the only thing that matters in the world for like 6 hours. And what you do in those 6 hours can change someone's life. Seeing that, I think, kind of throughout college and shadowing experiences and stuff, nothing else compared.
And you said you just got off a 24-hour shift?
Yeah, it was actually 28, 5 a.m. to 9 a.m.
How are you doing?
It's good. I just had some sushi, about to work out, gut it out, and then go to bed early.
Wow.
Back at it tomorrow.
Do you have any advice for aspiring med students?
A lot of people, I think, go into medicine are interested because maybe their parents want them to, or because it sounds cool, but you actually need to get your hands dirty and get those hands-on experiences, whether it's like getting into an operating room, being in a hospital, shadowing doctors to see if it's actually for you. And if it is, just know that it's many, many years of training.
Do you have any college debt or med school debt?
Yeah, quite a bit of med school debt, yeah.
How much?
It's like low hundreds, like 120. Which is like fairly good. I had some scholarships and some family help.
Okay. What would you say is your biggest expense right now?
Well, now that I started residency, I'm working so much. I don't have time to spend any money, but basically food, apartment.
How much do you pay for your apartment?
Give or take like 2,200-ish, 25.
And how much money do you spend per month on food?
I mostly eat at the hospital, which we get money for. So I'd say, I don't know, like 600, 700 bucks maybe.
Name is Miroslav Sacek, age is 47. I own a small construction company.
Do you have any advice for people that want to get into like their own construction business?
Well, learn your trade and treat your employees right. You have to be honest.
How do you invest your money?
Real estate is always good bet. Crypto, in my opinion, you have to diversify.
What are your favorite crypto coins right now?
Bitcoin and Ethereum.
What would you say is the best investment you've ever made?
Bitcoin for sure.
So I'm assuming you bought Bitcoin early?
2017, yeah.
Do you have any advice for the aspiring entrepreneurs that want to start their own business?
When you fell down, you don't give up and try to always, lift yourself and go for your dream.
I'm Nick, I'm 22, and I'm a student.
Where are you a student at?
I go to Northwestern.
What are you studying?
Journalism and history.
Do you have any personal finance advice?
Being mindful of how much you can actually spend on, personal items, I think is the most important. If you know you're going to spend, being able to understand how much you can actually do it responsibly.
What's the most expensive thing you've ever bought?
I think I got a MacBook that was like $2,200 or something like that.
I'm Sophia, I'm 22, and I'm going to be a teacher.
What are you going to be teaching?
I'm going to be teaching middle school English and history.
Are you excited?
Yeah, I'm super excited.
What did you go to school for?
I was also a history major.
Okay. What are you going to be doing during the summers?
Probably working on my master's degree.
What would you say is your biggest monthly expense right now?
Groceries, that kind of stuff. Utilities for living and things like that, yeah.
My name is Tracy. I'm 33 years old and I'm a production manager for a mortgage and real estate company.
How much do you make?
So last year we made around 400,000.
That's amazing. Do you have any advice for people that want to get into that?
Put yourself out there. Market yourself, make sure you build a brand, and then also that you have really good systems in place.
What's one system that you think every good company should have?
So specifically on real estate and mortgage, what I would say is look at the steps that need to be taken. So we spend more of the time doing loans. There's a lot of steps into a loan. Write down what the steps are and then create a system to make sure that it works flawless, because the goal is to scale, and the only way to scale is by doing more.
What is your best personal finance hack?
Our hack is to leverage whatever money comes in. How can you reinvest that so you can make more money? Instead of keeping it, how can we use that money to grow? By either buying assets that can help us not only save money on taxes, like the car is one of them.
What kind of car is that?
We bought a Lamborghini Huracan.
That's awesome. What is your most expensive possession right now?
I know it might sound crazy because we purchased a Lambo, but I don't really spend a lot. What we do is we like to invest. So for example, the car is a big investment that we made.
How's your car an investment?
Because we bought it under our business name. So our business owns the car. All the payments that we're making towards the car, we can actually deduct them as taxes. And then even the down payment that we put towards the car, we were able to save it on taxes. So we were pretty smart when we made the purchase.
I'm assuming you guys also use the car for marketing, right?
We do, yes. So it does help with realtor partners. What we've done in the past is to our top realtors, we actually allow them to use the car for a weekend or even to show a property.
How much do you currently spend per month on rent?
For us, it's only $3,000. So it's not too bad. I know when I talk to people at corporate or even our brokers, they tell us they spend a lot. For us, I'm like, $3,000, I feel like it's good, right?
That's really smart. Yeah, that means you can save more or invest that money into your other stuff, right? So I used to be a real estate agent myself. Do you have any advice for people that want to become a real estate agent?
The biggest advice I would say is join a team, because when you're new, you don't really know how a transaction goes, what can happen, the ups and downs in real estate and even in escrow. So I would say join a team, somebody that is already doing what you want to do. You're going to learn from them based off their experience. And then marketing. You have to market yourself. If you're a part of a team, then you market yourself with the team. Being a solo agent, it's very hard. If you're part of a team, it's just more powerful. A client, when they see 3 people helping them as opposed to 1, they rather go with the team.
My name's Nick, I'm 23 and I'm a sales consultant.
How much do you make as a sales consultant?
Around 50 to 60,000 a year.
That's awesome. And do you have any advice for people that want to get into sales?
Just be confident with yourself, and as long as you build a trust with the client, they'll be there for you as well.
So what's your biggest tip for talking to them better and getting more sales?
Just practice making friends. Honestly, if you become friends with your client, then you're more likely to just have a proper business relationship and proper sales and everything.
How do you invest your money? What would you say is your biggest expense right now?
Biggest expense right now would just be going out.
Going out to bars and...
Yeah, just shisha bars, normal bars, anything, yeah.
And what would you say your current monthly spend is?
1,000 to 2,000.
What's your biggest tip for saving money?
Just 2 separate accounts. Have a limit on how much you want to spend a week, and anything above that you put away.
What would be your biggest financial flex right now?
I booked a 6.5-week holiday to America.
Oh, so where are you from?
Australia.
Okay, that's amazing. How are you liking it?
Loving it. You get freedom to be yourself and just relax.
What's the craziest thing you've seen in America so far?
I guess just seeing the people walk around the streets with like the speakers on max, and nothing crazy too far.
Do people not do that in Australia?
Not the type of speakers they have here. They're mini boom boxes back home, but here it's like the big ones that you just drag along with you.
My name is Marissa. I'm 23 and I'm a swim teacher.
How much do you make as a swim teacher?
About 55K.
Do you have to have any training to like teach, or is it you're just a good swimmer?
Being a good swimmer and also training. Yeah, so I did a course before I became a swim instructor, but yeah.
So I was super bummed that some of the audio didn't work out, but we talked to some really cool people and I want to show you guys what they said. So first we have Jose, who's 29 years old, and he's a valet attendant making $15 an hour base pay plus tips. I asked him what the biggest tip he ever got was, and he said $500 from a movie director. And I also asked him, how did you get into the job? And he said he got into it from his dad and started working as a valet at 18 years old. So he's been doing this for over 10 years. Next up, we have Lucas, who's a security guard at Avra making $20 an hour plus tips. I asked him, of course, what his biggest tip was ever, and he said a couple $1,000s. And this is from doing security at nightclubs and other places where you can earn a lot in tips. I also asked him how you get into security, and he said you have to get your guard card, which is a license to be a security guard. His biggest monthly expense is $1,200 a month, and that is his rent. And I asked him what his biggest financial flex was, and he said that his mentality and mindset is why he chose to live and work in Beverly Hills. I asked him what he wanted to do in his future, and he said he wants to start his own security business. And next we have Anthony Farrer. He's actually a very big watch YouTuber. I literally walked by him and I was like, oh, I know that guy. So I ran back, asked if he wanted to be in the video, and he was kind enough to answer our questions. Anyways, he's a luxury watch seller and YouTuber. He's 34 years old. And when I asked him if he had any advice for people that want to get into luxury watches, he said, do it if you're passionate about it and don't do it for the money. I also asked him how he got into watches, and he said that he's been collecting watches ever since high school and began to buy and sell them. I also asked him what the perfect beginner's watch was, and he said a Rolex Datejust, aka one that looks like this. Of course, I had to ask him what his favorite watch was, and right now he says it's a Patek Philippe Nautilus 5990 Blue Dial, which is worth about $400,000. I also asked him what his biggest financial tip was, and he said to make sure that you can afford 3x of something in cash before you buy it. So sorry about the audio, guys. I really wish I had the original audio, but I really think they said some cool things, so that's why I want to include them in this video. So there you have it, asking strangers personal finance and money questions here in Beverly Hills, California. Now I have to admit, I got rejected a lot, but in the end, I think we found some really awesome people to talk to, and I know that I learned a lot talking to them. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that subscribe button, because we're gonna be making a ton of other videos just like this in a bunch of different cities across the US. I'm always interested in how people make money, how they save, how they invest, and by talking to strangers, we can really get a glimpse into their lives and the things that they do to be able to afford living here or traveling here. Anyways, again, like and subscribe, use the links down below to get some free stocks, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.